Halo Infinite for me has been getting so boring recently, but it's not because of a lack of game modes and maps, because honestly, 343 has made sure that area is covered, even if it may have taken forever to get to that point. Really, I think the reason Infinite is getting stale is because of the way they are handling their live service. And also, the sandbox of Halo Infinite has been stagnant since Season 3 when they added the DMR. Before I go into why I don't like how 343 is handling the live service currently, I will say that I think Season 5 was their best season in terms of content, events now rebranded as operations, and the Battle Pass. Even though it was half size of the others, it did cut a lot of the filler in my opinion. So it is a shame 343 decided to stop doing seasons when I thought they finally got the hang of it. The big issue I have with the live service part of Halo Infinite now is that the current operations are a vastly inferior system to the 3-month seasons we used to get. We are about 4 months in with the new 1-month operation system, and honestly, except for the 20-tier battle pass and the shop changes, I can't really tell the difference between them. What made the 3-month seasons good, and the standard for live service games in general, is it gives devs enough time to make meaningful changes to the game that the fans get to look forward to. And the time isn't so long of a wait that fans get bored if the 3-month seasons are followed consistently. Especially if you throw in some minor updates here and there, like events or operations like Season 5 did. 343 now just calls the 1-month operation updates CU, which is short for content update, but fans have started to call the abbreviation a more appropriate name now, referring to them as cosmetic updates, because except for a few minor stuff here and there, that's all these operations really amount to. I also think on the corporate side, it would be easier to advertise 3-month seasons over 1-month operations because the updates are bigger and there's just more content to showcase rather than getting small stuff about every month or so. I do think new maps, modes, and the addition of the exchange is great for the game, but it would have been better hype-wise for the fans if 343 released it all at once instead of slowly giving the content to us 1 month at a time like they currently are. I may just be crazy about my opinion on this matter, but I am losing interest in Halo Infinite. But when we had 3-month seasons, I was paying more attention because we got some real change out of the game every 3 months. But since the Spirit of Fire operation, it all now just feels like one big blur. The next thing that has made Halo Infinite become so boring recently is the lack of sandbox diversity. Except for some equipment and the DMR in Season 3, we have gotten no new vehicles or weapons, which kinda sucks. Because the last 343 game, Halo 5, despite its flaws, did in comparison have some crazy diversity with all its weapons and vehicles. On the weapons side, Halo Infinite could really use the classic pump action shotgun, the SMG, Splazer, and the Halo Infinite sticky detonator. In some aspects of the game, I feel the limited weapon selection has really hurt the game, like in the game mode Infection. The Bulldog just doesn't feel as satisfying to use like the classic shotgun did in that game mode. It also feels weird seeing a weapon like the Skewer on Valhalla rather than the Splazer since it's been on the map since 2007. I also really miss the sticky detonator because that was just a fun gun to use in Halo 4. I don't know why we haven't seen that gun return because it was just a blast. It's one of the few times 343 actually did a genius move and made a fun gun to use. And then after the first Halo game they made, they just never bring it back. Now, some people may argue that some of the guns should not return because they would be kind of redundant since some other weapons kind of take their place. And to that, I would say even if some of the weapons pretty much do the same thing in the sandbox, it's not a bad thing to have variety and choice. Just because the sniper and the beam rifle do the same thing doesn't mean the beam rifle shouldn't be available for players to use. More variety and selection is not a bad thing, especially when the game is supposed to change over time because of its live service nature. So giving us more things is obviously going to benefit the game. On the vehicle side of Halo Infinite, we have seen 0 new additions since launch, which really sucks. I personally want to see the Falcon, Goshawk, and Mantis return. Halo Infinite vehicles are really bare bones, And I could be wrong, but I don't think we got any new vehicles from Halo Infinite, which sucks, because that just makes the sandbox in the game even more limited, which is already quite ironic since the game is called Halo Infinite. Also, like I said with the weapons, more variety is never a bad thing, even if the vehicles overlap in purpose. Now in the comments, let me know what you think about Halo Infinite. Has it started to get boring for you too? Or has the game managed to still keep you guys entertained? Thank you for watching the video, and...
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.